This is Rio, Madison Rising.
I'm Sam.
Tom.
Dave.
DaBelly magazine. And we're here to rock and melt those faces.
Boom.
Hi, this is Sally with DaBelly.com, and we're here with Madison Rising.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, DaBelly?
So, last time I saw you was a year ago, and you guys were looking at starting a new album.
Yes.
And you did.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yay!
Got it done.
Yay! So, how's the tour going first?
That was pretty good. I mean, we've,
I'm gonna stand this
I'm
way.
trying to label it in my head here. We've been around quite a few different places. I know that upcoming we have Texas for about 2.5 weeks. We'll do the Louisiana State Fair. We're going to be in Hitchcock. We're going to be in Grand Prairie. So we'll be hitting up Texas really good. San Antonio to raise money for what happened in Houston. So that's going to be happening. In the past, I tend to kind of move forward, so I'm always kind of looking ahead.
We've been busy though. We were just out in Las Vegas.
That's right.
Just a few days after the terrible tragedy, but it was really good to have everybody come together. You know, the locals there, and just feel the energy of people coming out and having a good time, and getting their mind back to normalcy, which was really a highlight, I think, for some of the last couple of shows we did. And then out in New Mexico, we were out there.
Chama, right?
Yeah, Chama, New Mexico. Did an event at Northern New Mexico College. Then from there, did some stuff in the Deep South, Florida, the Carolinas. Then back out west recently. Here we are in Phoenix, and like Sam said, now we're coming up to the whole string of Texas stuff that's coming up soon.
So you guys are gonna take the southern back up to home?
Actually, we're gonna take the northern, like the really northern, like 35,000 feet.
Okay.
I like that one.
So we're flying home
Right.
this at the end of the weekend, and
okay.
we're there for about a day. Then we head back down to North Carolina, and we're there for a day. We go back home. We get to spend about 4 hours at home, and then we're going up to Brooklyn. We're doing some stuff with Vice Television and HBO in Brooklyn, and then it's out to Texas.
And that, unfortunately, isn't going to be the north route. That's going to be the driving the van route.
Right.
Yeah, we're used to it. We're used to it.
Really nice ride.
Yeah.
So this is cool. This is something new. Last year, when I met Madison Rising, Rio was the new guy. Now it's Dave. Dave, tell us about you.
Well, I'm really brand new. This is my first string of gigs here in Arizona, and it's been great. I really connected with the message of Madison Rising, and the Battered Not Broken record sounds fantastic. So that was something that I really liked. And great guys, and it's been a great connection, and the guys are bringing me on board with a lot of love. So I'm really psyched to be with Madison Rising and to spread the good word.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, which brings us to the new album, because last year when I met you all were working on it.
Right.
So tell us and tell me about the new album.
Yeah.
Well, the new album, if you're familiar with these guys prior to me joining up, the way that it kind of played itself out is Madison Rising is going to talk about a subject. We're going to tell you how we feel about a subject, and we're going to tell you how you should feel about a subject. And it's more direct, in your face. And then the new album, we decided we wanted to go into a different direction, because it's really, you can build a foundation, but then once you build that foundation, you really got to add the sticks to create the house. And so we went in and we decided we'd put the sheetrock up, and with that meaning, we're going to give you a look into the mental, the emotional psyche of the community that we support, your veterans, your spouses, that patriotic community. So we wanted to give you a feel of, like, what does it feel like to have to decide whether or not you're going to kiss your kid goodbye at night, or are you just going to whisper in his ear bye or her ear bye and let them wake up in the morning to no parent. you know, so we wanted to show you what that's all about. And then we wanted to, you know, that longing, and when one spouse is ripped away from the other spouse, or it could go for any relationship like that, you know, child, it could be that type of stuff. So we want to show you what the thought processes are and how you really struggle over there with, you know, the demons in your head about what the hell's going on back home, and then, you know, what will I do in order to get back home, and then the thought process that is left out a lot of times, which is the home thoughts. You know, there was a time in my experience during the beginning of Iraq war, actual invasion, the night of the invasion. Luckily for me, I had the opportunity to be on the telephone, so we knew what was going on our side, and we're bombing them, and we're doing everything that's leading up to the actual invasion. And so we decided that we were going to take a break, and everybody's going to get on the sat phone, and we're going to tell everybody we're okay, because we knew at any moment our comms were going to get cut. And all the guys got through, and then it was my turn, and then I'm on the phone, I'm talking to my wife back home, and she's like, are you guys at war? I said, you know, I can't tell you that. Has the invasion started? I said, you know, I can't tell you. Well, it looks like it has. And I said, well, watch the news, because it's going to tell you. If it looks like it has, then if it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And then she said, well, how are you talking to me right now? And I said, you know what, I'm not sure why I have the ability at this point. And I said, so what I'll do right now is I'll tell you I love you. So I said, I love you. And as soon as you got out of my mouth, it was good. And so once that was cut, I've always thought about what goes through your mind at a point in time like that. When it is cut, you don't know what just happened over there. You don't know if it was cut forcibly. You don't know if it was cut by force, you know.
Right.
And so we wanted to give you a picture into that type of, you know, not just a subject, and this is how we feel about it. Now we want you to actually take that journey. You know, the album discusses a lot of things like suicide,
PTSD.
yeah, all the demons that you come back with.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of the guys that come back, a lot of the females that come back, you know, the warriors have that. You know, you're in charge of people. You're in charge of people's lives, and that's a very important part. And when you don't have that purpose, you know, is flipping burgers the same thing? And obviously it's not. So whenever these guys come back and they get into a position where it's less than what they think it should be, then they lose purpose. And when you lose purpose, you lose 22 a day. So we wanted to give you that look into the psyche of what happens. So now you know what we feel about it, you know what you should feel about it, and now here's your emotional side. So that's what the album's all about.
Right. And that's where Battered Not Broken comes from.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah, and then the first single that we released, Heaven Seas, was, you know, a lot of the songs on the album touch on PTSD, but that song in specific, we have a music video on it, really wanted to, you know, get the emotional side of what's going on through people's minds that are afflicted with that, and really got some good responses on that. That was right when we dropped the album, and then after that, Blood Red Sun, I think, is good. The story behind that with the Devil Over Mahdi, right?
Yeah, we've got a song that hopefully your fans, I'm sure, are familiar with Chris Kyle, and he's you know the greatest American sniper in my book, or at least one of the top, you know. And his nickname is the Devil Over Mahdi, and when he went out there, you know, you were in good hands. And we have a song called Blood Red Sun that you know, there's a couple lines in it. One of it's like when the angel's 6 feet under, and then the devil's on your side. And we've had some comments about that. People don't really understand that, but it's metaphorically speaking, the Devil over Mahdi is a guy that, you know, he provided overwatch for a lot of Marines and a lot of even Air Force guys out there, the spooks in the Army. And when you got the devil on your side in a you know, that kind of situation and event, you're in pretty good hands.
So that's what kicks off the album.
Yeah.
And so that's what kicks it all off. Yeah, I was wondering about that because you all took a directional change from where you were from years ago to where it is now. And it's a lot more meatier. Because it's the best way I can say it. And
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's more heavier and
Yes.
it's more meatier.
Thick.
Yeah.
Thick.
Yeah.
Rio's favorite word.
Like, you know, like DaBelly. But yeah, so let's talk about that. Explain the reason why you chose to go that route. I know it's because of the newness and the everybody wanting to bring in their own and being more than what they were. So tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, as a band, you have to be evolving. So this was a great chance with Rio coming in to say, okay, here's how we are with Rio now. So we went in there, and the production is, I'd say, more of an updated production style. So everything is just a bit, as you say, thicker. I really actually wanted to touch upon Another Messiah, which is the heaviest song on the album.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was something that we consciously, we wanted to get a bit heavier. And people like the heavy. They do.
And we do.
Yeah.
So just from personal listening, the past two albums kind of touched on some different genres of rock, but I think I'm like a closet really heavy metal fan and hard rock, and wanted to just put some of those influences musically on the album, and that kind of led to the beefier sound.
Yeah.
It's a lot. To me, it's when I signed on, there was a purposeful direction change, and it's. When you are the top of a genre, which a lot of people didn't really know existed, and because of what Madison Rising was able to do prior to me jumping in, they created a subgenre of this rock, which is now patriotic rock, and then you see what's underneath the patriotic rock, and it's all kind of all in this one little framework, which we happen to sit at. Now, in order to grow the community and grow the fan base, you got to knock out a wall or two. And we decided at that point we're going to have a more mainstream sound, but we want to have a heavier sound. But in there, like we throw little jabs in there, like On My Own, which is a really touching song that kind of drops out some of the heaviness. But we want to show you that we're a lot more than what I guess Rolling Stone labeled us as America's most patriotic rock band. When they gave us that label, it kind of keyholes you. And now we wanted to show you that we're a lot more than that. And now if you want to be pretty, we can go pretty. But if you want to get thick, we can go thick too.
The lyrics are a bit. I'd say the heaviest lyrics, in my opinion. There's Another Messiah. There's that chorus when it says, "They sell us another Messiah, broadcasting lies in our minds, distractions from truths that define us, bound down by chains till the darkness grows." And I've always interpreted that as, could be a talking head on your television screen just feeding you these, like, here's how you're supposed to feel about this, here's how you're supposed to think, and you get bound down because it's in your face all the time. So in a way that song is kind of saying you need to realize what's happening. You're being bound down, you're being put in this box, and you need to break free from that. So
very relevant.
That's how I've always interpreted
Yeah.
that one. It's heavy stuff, So.
Right, and it is, and the message is there. I mean, if
Yeah.
you really listen to the lyrics and
You
get
gotta,
into it, I think.
Search through, but it's there.
Yeah, and
Thinking my lips is what's on walls. Someone talking 'cause it's their forte. We've been 60s, so come for the charge.